I record.
Alright, so we're just doing a quick survey in the U campus, Mona, and basically the awareness of, basically, let's say, US students on the conflict in, let's say, East Asia, like Russia and Ukraine right now. And we have, me and mine stating your name? Jordan. And the first question, so no wrong or right answers, just to put that out there. Just want to get your personal views on the situation. Alright, so the first question is, in your own words, define a world war.
A conflict between nations to get some type of advantage over the other, or get something that could benefit them. I would say that.
Alright, cool, fair enough. Alright, next question. What are some of the effects of the conflict in Russia and Ukraine on the Caribbean and, let's say, Jamaica?
Well, first you have the inflation of gas prices. You have inflation in prices like consumables, things stuff. I heard that there are some other stuff as well.
Alright, what are alright, so that's the current effects. Oh, do you see this going further? Do you see more catastrophic things happening, or you do see this basically just resolving very soon?
I actually see this going further because it doesn't look like it looks like it's going to be drawn out for a long time, and I don't think there's a definite decision if one wants to stop or not, because there have been many complaints about Ukrainians and Russians protesting about stopping the war, and President Putin, I think they said basically ignoring them. So I have a feeling it's going to be drawn on. That's what I say.
Okay. Do you have any solutions, like where we could have a peaceful resolution to this conflict?
I honestly don't. I don't.
Alright, okay. That should conclude it. Thanks. Alright, so once again, we have another volunteer. Basically, they said we're just probing to find the awareness of Jamaicans on the issue that's taking place over there in Russia and Ukraine, to see their thoughts on the matter. And, I said there's no wrong or right answer. We just want each person's view on the matter. Alright, yeah, by the way, I'm Zach. Am I sharing?
Glenroy.
Oh, Glenroy. Yeah, alright, cool. So the first question we have, in your words, own words, define a world war.
A world war is when, I guess in my words, I think a world war is when like the major world powers normally have like some big conflict that they're trying to solve, and I guess the only other way they can try and solve it is through like conventional means, like conventional warfare.
Alright, yeah, fair enough. That's good. Alright, what are some of the effects of the conflict in Russia and Ukraine and Jamaica and the Caribbean?
Jamaica.
Those things you recognize change.
Yeah, I know Russia is a country of like a whole heap of oil and things like that, so I think them being at war would probably affect like oil prices out here and things like that. I think Ukraine have like some resources. I think they have wheat or something like that. I don't remember. But I know they have resources, so I think so that will get affected as well.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's good. All right. Do you see the conflict further escalating?
I hope not, but I guess as it is right now, I would probably have to say yes. But I hope I'm wrong though. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any suggestions for a peaceful resolution?
I think for probably preventing in the first place, I think that they probably, I guess Ukraine probably should just like stay neutral in the first place, because I think if they had joined like the United States, for example, then they get what's happening now, and I think if they try to join Russia, the United States would probably attack and do the Russians. So I think the best option for them was to probably just try and stay neutral in the first place, but they don't go on bad already. So.
Right, okay. So basically, like, the call it right now would be the best way for us of our agreement with Ukraine, basically stay neutral.
Yeah.
Go back to a neutral standpoint.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I have one personal question for you. You see in this current event having any parallel connection to biblical prophecy, as some would call it?
Not really. I think wars are something that normally happen on a regular basis anyway, so I wouldn't really necessarily link it to biblical things like that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're gonna see this turning into a next third world war. When we say a next third world war, a next world war, being the third world war.
That I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I'm not sure.
And you're gonna see the events
But
going to there.
I think so far they kind of suggest that it will probably end up in that direction. But as I say, I kind of hope that's not the case. I kind of hope I'm wrong on that.
You have anything where you have in mind if it reached that state, what you would do in preparation of it? Personal?
Honestly, no.
No?
I have no idea. So I
Okay.
mean, we never experienced a world war before, so we wouldn't know if we're doing a situation like that.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of some hopes I do happen. So I'm not experience.
Understood.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's supposed to conclude it. Thanks so much for your participation.
Alright, no problem.
Who's that guy?
Alright, so we have two more volunteers still conducting the interview on the awareness of Jamaicans on the conflict over there in Asia, Russia, and basically Ukraine. And we just have some, let's see, 7 questions. Sorry,
Yeah,
7.
I tell you,
They're
by the
simple.
time the question them real off,
Yeah.
come like
Alright, so the first one is basically, in your own words, define a world war. Easy.
Something that affects everybody in the world. A war that affects everybody in the world.
Well done today.
Conflict between people.
You're good, you can pass.
Yeah.
Alright, that's good. Alright, let's see, what are some of the effects of the conflict in Russia and Ukraine right now on the Caribbean and Jamaica? Something you have seen.
Gas price.
That's one, that's good.
What else?
Chicken feeding.
Chicken feeding, your ears chicken? No. What else?
Chicken feed gone up, that's good.
Groceries gone up. Chicken gone up.
Everything gone up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You see any resulting factor while shopping? Like if you see a reduction of food or just increase of food prices?
Increase. Everything increase.
Okay, so you don't see like no reduction of food?
Not really.
Not really.
So
Okay.
chicken up for $300 per whole.
$300 pound?
It's like 40% increase or two.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you see the conflict further escalating?
By the way, you're watching the conflict in your town?
Yeah.
You watching it? Kayla, right?
Yeah.
And Gabby. Yeah.
Alright,
You
so you
watching
say
it?
no. You say
Somewhat.
alright.
Somewhat.
Somewhat, okay.
Alright. Do you see the conflict having any relations to biblical prophecy?
Biblical prophecy.
Yeah.
They in the Bible, no.
No?
Alright. Nope.
Okay.
Alright. Do you see it leading? Oh, well, they say it's not going to escalate, so more likely you will say it's not going to lead to World War III or the next World War.
No, no worries.
So you just think it will
I think it's on a pause.
so blow off
Yeah.
eventually?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. And in the case that it should escalate to World War III,
Yeah.
would you have any preparations, anything that you'll definitely do to basically save yourself?
Mm.
I'll save myself.
You know what is them call it again, Zachariah? State of emergency. You know what's a state of emergency?
Few months ago, yeah.
Okay, you know laws that operate under state of emergency, what a state of emergency actually implies. Okay, so seeing that and certain laws pretty much, you know, that you can have freedom of speech, freedom of movement and them, so all of them laws that get restricted, right?
Basically,
Okay.
habeas corpus was removed, the right to appear before a judge and a jury.
Okay, yeah. You see me? Alright, cool. So now, being that if the situation escalates and there's a state of emergency get implemented, right? Restrictions and so forth, the government is going to automatically start to hoard food. You see me? So how would you prepare for rationing?
I was recording a while ago because
Is it me?
sometimes I don't like the recording.
Yeah. Is it me? Sorry. Skip out with dodge a bullet this one, anyway. So if the country were in a state of emergency where the government starts for ration food, how would you prepare for that, or how would you guys handle a situation like that? Because we know some of my friend over here, so love our chicken, you know. Yeah.
As there would also be invasion of countries as well.
Yeah, so how you guys prepare for that?
Or the possibility of preparing, not necessarily we going to do this or you going to do that. What are some of the possibilities or things someone could do
Yeah.
in the case of a world war?
Grow some food.
Real food,
Plants.
plants, plantings.
That's good.
That alone?
I don't think so far. I don't think so far.
So eat.
Alright, so we have one more. Do you have any suggestions for peaceful resolution? Just get this thing died down and resolve back to normal.
I'm like, I'm still going to do that business. So potent. Vamos out.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Anything else to say, Gabby?
Final words? No? Alright, cool.
Third volunteer as well. Zach, by the way, you are? Jay. Alright, so just to make
You
it...
look happy if you answer some questions.
Yeah. Just to make it be clear, there's no wrong or right answer. We're just checking the awareness of Jamaicans on the issue.
And your personal opinion on the matter.
That's it. Alright, so the first one, define a world war in your words.
Okay, so a world war, in my opinion, is essentially, as the name suggests, a war that is happening on world basis. I think it's kind of self-explanatory on a global scale.
Alright, and what are some of the effects of the conflict in Russia and Ukraine right now on the Caribbean and Jamaica? Things that you have seen.
Okay, so I've basically seen that there have been a spike in prices. So as we know that Russia is basically one of the major oil, gas, proponents of the world, and because of how the war has been happening and how it has been affecting Russia, it caused a ripple effect and it's affecting Jamaica as a whole. Also, a lot of Russian companies own bauxite mines in Jamaica, and because there was basically a boycott, I think there was I don't know if that's the right word, but they put on some tariffs and those, not tariffs, they blocked all sanctions on Russia. We are losing some of the income that we would generate from dealing with Russia and all them someday. So we're basically being put at a standstill essentially.
That's good. Alright, so the third one, do you see the conflict further escalating?
Yes and no. And the reason why I say this is because yes, I see that it's going to escalate further, because I think the main reason for the war is because of power and because of how the Soviet Union, or rather Vladimir Putin, he has his views of the Soviet Union and how he wants it to extend. So I believe that it is going to constantly continue until the Soviet Union becomes what it was in the past, which was basically all of the minor countries
those Slavic nations.
Yeah, those Slavic nations. I don't think it's going to stop unless somebody assassinates him. It's a harsh thing to say, but that is the only way that it's going to stop. But if he passes his ideology to other persons, then it is going to continue, and eventually it's going to lead to a major world war, just like...
Next one, do you see the conflict having any relations to with biblical prophecy?
Right, so I am a firm believer in Christ. I do believe that it has something to do with biblical prophecy from a religious standpoint, but from a societal standpoint, I believe that it doesn't, because you see, war is a cycle. It's going to always happen, especially in Eurocentric countries, because they constantly fight for power. And there's no unity among Eurocentric countries, just like in Africa. But that is as a result of how we were cultured as persons, because of colonization. But there's a urge for power and capitalism and maximizing and all of them someday. So I don't think that it's going to stop. And in a religious sense, with the whole biblical perspective, as was said in Revelation, it's the last days, and wars and rumors of wars are going to happen. We can't do nothing to help it. So it's just like, it has to happen. And I saw something on TikTok that said that it's just like a cycle. It are gonna happen regardless.
Alright, so basically I believe that would answer this question in regards to, do you see it leading to World War III or the next World War?
Yes, I do. I do think so.
What do you have in preparation for such an event?
Well, you see, I'm very realistic, nothing. I have nothing. I'm just here to get my law degree, and if the world ends up going on, because eventually we just have to go back to, we already kill the world with climate change. And we're not, why do we care about this now? Because at the end of the day, when Russia did go on, no, you see, the reason why we even care about it is because it's Eurocentric. Because when war going on Somalia and Iraq, we were taught the perspective that it's not a world war and nobody never want to help them. Am I supposed to care now? I don't care. Make the whole of them kill off each other.
Well, I think one of the main reasons why a lot of persons giving attention to this one now, because while African
nuclear
nations,
power
don't have nukes, Russia has, and last time Putin said, I'm not bluffing, I will use this.
And it might be a Hiroshima.
Yeah,
yes, so,
and one side of a fire, next side of a fire. So while two, let's say third world countries or three third world countries fighting, that necessarily not going to affect the whole world. But if one nuke drop and then two more nuke fire, then it's all chaos.
It's all chaos for sure. But at the end of the day, Me just go at me camera there.
We as a good person can't really do nothing still, but
Exactly. So,
the last one still I have is really do you have any suggestion for peaceful resolutions to the conflict?
we need to stop giving. We need to start becoming pacifist and stop be like, you know, fight like where we fight over them some year. Like it sounds very like, you know, when white people say I don't see color. But at the end of the day, I believe that we should all be pacifist and boycott wars as a whole. Because the only reason why we are fighting is because two men with ego problems and too much power say, you know what, we could have a little bash in our head. That's how I see it. So I feel like we should just boycott wars as a whole because it's just, you know, there's nothing for nobody. If you have read poetry from remember the man, I did it in literature, but there's this man who went into war. He wrote Dolce et Decorum est Spor Patria Mori. You can look up that poem. He spoke about how deadly war is. War isn't only just fighting for your country. It causes a lot of problems as a whole. So I don't believe that war should happen as a whole. I think the only suggestion is to just become pacifist and say, listen, we're not about war.
So a good one, just to sum it up if I'm understanding correctly. Countries like, for example, us now in Jamaica should say, hey, on your wellness, you're the government, we need to say, hey, no to the war in Ukraine. So we're not going to back Ukraine nor Russia.
Become like Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's it. Well, thanks a lot. I have some quick questions as I'm supposed to explain to you. Alright, so let's go straight into it. The first question I want to ask you, year one, where it's at, define World War.
World War, yeah. World War is usually conflict between two major powers in the world that affects everybody else, yeah? I think, yeah.
So, alright, what are some of the effects of the conflict in Russia and Ukraine on Caribbean and Jamaica?
I guess it's mainly economic in terms of the supply chains and all that being disrupted, and some amount of speculation also, things like fuel and all the things. Economic, I would say mainly. Otherwise, I don't think we're affected.
No, okay.
We, as in Jamaica or the Caribbean, is affected.
Jamaica and Caribbean.
Not, what do you mean by directly or just overall between indirect and indirect?
In other words, politically we care not really.
Okay.
It's just the economics of it that really
affects us.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I understand. So, like for instance, like the inflation and terms of price and food.
Price of wheat.
Such and such. Okay, understand.
Do you see conflict further escalating?
It can, you know, it can. It could, mainly because there are hidden forces at work. You know, not many persons understand fully what the reasons are for this conflict. Yeah. Not many persons even care to examine it. It can escalate. It can.
Okay.
It can.
Cool.
All right. Do you see the conflict having any relations with biblical prophecy?
Oh. Well, every conflict that exists in modern times have to do biblical prophecy. Yeah, everyone. So this one is no different.
All right. So you see it leading to World War III possible?
I don't know how you define World War III really.
Like, you know, World War I, World War II, global powers coming to and they declare war, say, oh, this is literally declared war.
Countries going into state of emergency and such
What
and
did
such.
you say? Einstein once said he doesn't know what the next World War will fought with, but you know what the one afterwards will fought with sticks and stones.
Yeah.
So I just hope
You don't reach that.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, understood. Alright, so in that case now, because obviously I understand, say, World War III, if there's a World War III, they'll fight with nukes. Alright, so do you have any preparations in the case that unfortunately there's a World War
You can't do nothing about it.
Okay.
Just all is dead and done.
We're not no bunker.
And even then, I don't know if I want to be living in a post-nuclear war society.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Really,
There wouldn't be nothing really true.
I see it in the movies, it's nice.
True. Do you have any suggestions for a peaceful resolution?
Well, yeah, man. The hidden agendas need to be brought to the fore. That little puppet who is in charge of Ukraine needs to leave.
Zelensky.
So
Puppet, we all know.
Puppet, yeah, he needs to leave. And the persons who are backing him need to understand that he's playing them.
Okay.
And ease him up. And make pressure done, you know. I say make pressure done.
Yeah.
Because I don't really support aggression in any form. I do understand why Russia is doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because the posturing that's going on between NATO and the US and the Ukraine, right in Russia's backyard, America wouldn't stand for it. Remember the Cuban missile crisis? Same thing. So America did not stand for Russia being in the Caribbean. So why should Ukraine stand
for NATO encroaching on territories relating
so we
to
understand what's going on.
Well, as I mentioned, still there's an hidden agenda and powers that be that's playing the war. Mind expounding on that?
Oh, well, put it this way. I mean, one of the things that Ukraine has done, and the whole NATO thing where they're trying to join NATO, is that they are former satellite of USSR, right? Whatever that means. They are now separated. I think they need to understand, not that they should be afraid of Russia, but understand who they're friending up with. Right? And them friending up people who are coming to friend them in order to get to Russia and know themselves. Right? Because this, I believe, is part of the fact. I really have no sentiment for Ukraine. I mean, in our post World War II society, they have committed the greatest atrocities, some of the greatest atrocities against us as a people. Even the other day, you heard about many of the stories about Jamaicans and Africans in Ukraine. So I have no sympathy for them really, that I would not have had for any country that's being invaded. You understand me? I don't have no special love for them, right? But them just need to wake up and realize that they're being played, they're puppets in a game, being played by some world masters. And stop the foolishness now.
Okay. All right. There. Anyway, that was it, still. Thanks for your.
Let me check.
Rolling.
Alright, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Hashem Yashai, Hashem Kakadash.
The wonders and two elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the full lick. Alright, so we'll just do a quick, get some people understanding our knowledge on what I think this could take place in Russia and Ukraine right now, and the possibility of it leading to World War III and if it have any biblical relations. And one of the main things we can acknowledge, as the scripture says, people basically are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Let's get that real quick. It's not like some of them not aware that there's a war indeed, but what them don't aware of is the biblical section of it, which is basically life in general, and what it means for them as a people and as a nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos. This is Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. I said it's not like people now have understanding that hey, Russia, Ukraine, some know that there's other powers that's playing out and so forth. That's fine. But what take place right now is that we need World War III. You see me? Us, the Israelites, we need World War III. Going back to the prophecy from, I want to say the most I get them, we judge them. Zechariah, I think that 3. They want to say basically get him to judge them.
Yeah, sure, in a Joel 3 yet?
No, not Joel 3, man. I want to say wait upon the Lord until he rise up.
Rise up to the prayer?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly which part that day. I think there's somewhere in Zechariah, there is Zephaniah, isn't it?
Maybe Zephaniah 3.
Yeah. But you can say a lot of these people not waiting, man. A lot of these people, they not even have a clue about what's happening. Them not really, because if you watch the interviews that take place, a lot, I think every one of them not have a clue about what happened and not even a way of escape. You see me? What?
This is Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 8 says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
Exactly. A lot of these people not even know who for wait upon, who them salvation come from. You understand? They're not even aware, they're not even consider the events of what is happening. You understand? Them just, you know, just another day. Kumbaya, swinging hands together, going by, you know, like as if nothing now happened. You know?
It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger.
Exactly. The scripture says is determination is to gather the nations. Right now, when you look over there towards the east, you see the gathering taking place. You understand? And that is the Heavenly Father, as the scripture said, the Lord mustereth the host of the battle. You see me? That is how it relates to biblical prophecy. A lot of people just think that this is another event to just come by and pass. But this is the event, the major event that is going to basically escalate into another thing. Escalate into another stage. You understand? It will soon be declared that we're in the time of World War III right now. You understand? And if you realize, based on the interviews that we did, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think that, oh, you know, it's going to pass. You know, they think we're living in the time of rumors of wars. It is basically coming past those times now. We're going into the war. You see me?
Yeah, the war, World War III.
World War
It's
III.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. So the second war is past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly.
The third war cometh quickly. You see me? The scripture, yeah, the scripture mention about the first war, and it does mention about the second war is past, right? And the third war cometh quickly, right? The first war is talking about World War I. The second one is talking about World War II. See, and the one that cometh quickly is talking about World War III. And when you realize the whole entire events of what is taking place and how it's being brewed, you realize that it's actually coming to pass quickly. We're actually going right down into the barrel of the gun, so to speak, you know?
Yeah, and it's going to be nuclear, you know, because that's another reason why people say, they not really want to push for a war. But there's powers that be right now, you know, the elites them actually have played these world leaders, you know, like creepy Biden, Putin, Zelensky, even like Chancellor, what the bitch name again? I don't remember, the one in Germany.
Oh.
Basically NATO. It's
Angela Merkel?
Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
You know, kind of send weapons to Ukraine and so forth. Right?
Con.
All of these powers are actually being played by the elites, and the elite is being played by the Mosai.
Con.
You know, because the Mosai will fear World War III, and that's the only reason why it's going to happen.
And you can basically see that in one of the interviews that we had over here at the University of West Indies, you know, where one of them said that there are hidden powers. I think that two individuals said that.
I think
Yeah.
the girl. And,
The girl said that?
I think the girl, the one where they have knowledge.
Okay. They pretty much a couple of them said that there are hidden powers at play. You see me? So they have a zeal of what is happening, but they don't really have the knowledge that's the curious Heavenly Father putting it into place. You see me? And they don't really have the in-depth knowledge of what exactly is taking place, man. It's a theater of war. You see me? The word theater pretty much go back to like an act, you know, put on display. You see? So that is what is happening, man. You have powers behind the scenes that is pulling the strings.
And the Mosai control those powers, you know. As Trevor said, these things happen for the Mosai pleasure. Now let's get that real quick. So the Mosai control these world leaders, and then basically lead them, you know, to go to war. We'll go to the book of Proverbs.
16 and 4?
No, 23.
Yeah.
No, 23, 21. Yeah, Proverbs 21 and 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. You know, so the most side, these basically kings, them call him president right now or prime minister or whatever, you know, on the earth right now. But them actually, them heart, to go back to them mind, is in the hand of the Most High, and him basically muster. Well, let's read this real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 3. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for my hunger, even them that rejoice in my highness, you know, the angels, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Ooh! It's straight down to the point, man. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. And you can see how a lot of people, we call it, them depart from the Maker. because they are not considering that the events that are taking place is the Lord mustering the host of the battle.
Yeah.
Them now consider that the Heavenly Father bring this world, this current society, to a very, very close end. Right?
Yeah, and that's going to be the end of Esau's kingdom, the destruction of Babylon. Let's go back to prophecy. This is Isaiah 9 verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused eyes, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So this third world war, will be fought with nukes. It's, was it the, I don't remember my name still, Jerry Bridgen. Basically say, in quote Einstein, Einstein say, say, I don't know what weapon World War III will be fought with, or World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. They will sure say, it's going to be a fire, thermonuclear destruction. But what will take place is that the Mosai, him basically him will control the missiles them. I refer to them as his army. To make sure say them got a specific target, because the earth really gonna survive the destruction. When we even go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 4, it says, "One generation passed away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." So the earth will always be here. But what takes place is that there's a change in power come. Esau basically go down, with this destruction. Right, this World War III, it leads, it gonna leads to his end. Right, which go back to even when we go to
Second Ezra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second Ezra chapter
6 and around 8 thereabout.
Second Ezra 6 verse 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the part and asunder of the times, the ages, the worlds?"
Right.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth. So this is the current world we in an age, right? So when will be the end of this one? In the end of the world, so to speak. It says, "And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's beginning of it that followeth." So Esau, the white man right now, so-called white man, rule the earth. His end, his rulership represent the end. Or he's going to rule in the end when the Lord, when I go to Daniel, the second chapter, tell about the statue, and there was a stone come and basically smote the image upon the foot, everything come tumbling down. The stone represent Yahushai. And the foot represent basically the Esau, the so-called white man.
The second leg of the Roman Empire. That one which the deadly wound was healed. You see me? We come back. You see me? So that one based pretty much Yahushai come back to destroy this current society. Because if you notice, this current society is ruled by what? The world is governed by what? You see me? NATO, which is headed by what? America. See? So that is the infrastructure where the Heavenly Father, the Son of the Heavenly Father, come for conquer and for overthrow men. You understand? That is the infrastructure right now, which is pretty much going into battle with the, as the scripture tells in the book of Ezekiel 37, saying, "I put hooks in the jaws and turn it back." See? That's why Russia is pretty much going forth seeking back the powers of what it had as the USSR. See? So the big major powers them, as Fergie say, see, are going to come to a head-on battle, a head-on collision, which are going to result in the global impact, right, affecting everybody. See? Affecting everybody, and the only solution, as the brother read the scriptures, wait upon the Lord until he rise up to the prey. That is the only solution. Some people can say them don't have no hope, because them don't have no faith, them don't have no power, them don't have no backative. Zin, them hope and trust and belief is in this current system. Zin, that's why them are gonna them enough of them say, oh, them just are wait for dead. Zin, it's like you have straight too far.
No, very good, man. Some of them even fear the war, because it's going to be catastrophic. The bird,
catastrophic.
Already, them fear it, but may try to get the precept will say the good cannot come.
That's the evil that is sown.
And how it are rooted out. You know, it tells you the Most High burn this earth this time with fire.
Gone.
And that's why I'm going to brew this World War III. So we need World War III to come and be over with in order to get righteous society. You know, so I'm going to skip that real quick and maybe we can close with it. 2 Peter. 2 Peter 3. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise." And it says thief in the night because the people recognize that this is the day of the Lord. You know, with World War III and the nukes them falling in America, right? That will come to people as a thief in the night, yo, when the Lord will return when them nukes the fire. Because Scripture say, you know, we are basically deliver from the destruction. So the chariots will come and the Scripture say, beam us, so to speak, yo, from all of the basically 4 corners of the earth. Right? And then you have a great earthquake which will represent when them nukes the hit ground zero, that blast and I rock the earth to and fro. It says, and that catch a lot of people as a thief in the night. Why? Because them now aware of what take place and then understand that this indeed will, no, if you know, will lead to the ultimate World War III that's going before with nukes.
Gone.
It says, "In the which the heaven shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervor, and each represent the thermonuclear fire will burn this earth."
Gone.
You know, it says, "The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person are ye to be in the hall, holy conversation, godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Shem Yoshai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervor, in each with the fire of the nukes that go to that, and also the chariots of God fire to it, as Yahweh shall say him come to set fire on the earth. But what will him, it already be kindled."
Exactly.
You know, so when Yahweh shall come, fire already they are burned.
Exactly. See, it been burning, but it will reach a state where it basically it will engulf or inflame more. You see me? And it say, a while ago you read with all holy conversation, right? Pretty much real conversation there mean lifestyle or way of life. You see, so you're supposed to look for. A lot of people right now in this current society, them not look for nothing but the next day and another day. And we spoke to a girl earlier on. You see me? I'm asked her like, why your end game, so to speak, you know? And she said, yo, not a goal, not nothing else past what is to be attained in this society. You see me? And that is one of the major reasons why them basically go down with this society, because them cling to this society, you know? Yeah?
It says, "Nevertheless, we,
right,
according to his promise,"
right? All of the man them who basically engulf basically are we call the scripture in St. John 15, we say the true vine engrafted.
Abide in Yahushai.
Exactly. We abide in Yahushai, man. You see me? You have to be engrafted in the word for basically gain salvation. I saw you going save a soul. Say, James chapter 1, it tell you that. You see me? So them we basically a seek for this thing come. Scripture sir?
Says, "Nevertheless, we, according to his promise,
right,
look for new heavens,
right, a new heaven
and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness."
Wherein dwelleth righteousness, because this current society, as it's saying in the book of Micah 2:10, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It is polluted, it will destroy you, even with a sore destruction." The more you stay in this society, the more it will erode your mind and it will corrupt your level of righteousness. That's why it needs to be destroyed. You see me? That's why it vexed Lot's righteous soul. And the Heavenly Father bring out Lot out of that basically Sodom and Gomorrah. Likewise, He going to bring out Him righteous men them who are seek for the destruction out of this current dispensation of time.
Yes, it's all necessary, you know, because that's one of the main things we get from our people. Them fear this conflict, because them thinks that will be the end of everything.
Right?
No, it will be the end of Esau's world. You know, and Yahushua going to come on the world, you know, and as I say, you know, we look for a new heaven and a new earth where we indwell righteousness. So it'll be a righteous society after this. You know, so if you feel afflicted, if you feel miserable, if you feel sort of whatever, or come with this kingdom, you know, you're supposed to haste the days, as you say, you know, for this come, you know, destroyed, and Yahweh can set up the righteous kingdom who can live, you know, in righteousness.
Can.
You know, so that's it.
Yeah, man, so that's it, man. So I guess you can wrap up, my brother.
Right, so with that, I want to give out praise to for you. How about Shem Shai, Shem Dash? The one is to our listeners, apostles of great no stone. Shalom to the full.
Shalom.